Make sure you guys hit the subscribe button if you guys are enjoying the content that we're throwing up. And make sure you guys hit the like button if you enjoy the video. And yeah, let's begin. What's going on, guys? This is Rob, and we are back again with another installment of our How to Kill Superhero series where, as the name implies, we figure out how to bring about the demise of our favorite superheroes or supervillains. And the character that we're discussing today has been both a hero and a villain at various times, but whichever side of the spectrum he falls on, he is without a doubt one of the strongest characters in DC Comics, and a character that has been brought back to the forefront recently with the events of Dark Knight's Metal. We're of course talking about Superboy-Prime. But before we figure out how to kill what is certainly one of the most powerful versions of Superman, we'll go over his origin and his powers. So the character that would become Superboy-Prime was created by Elliot S. Maggin and Curt Swan and first appeared in DC Comics Presents number 87 in 1985, although he would not adopt the moniker of Superboy-Prime until much later in 2006's Infinite Crisis number 2. So the character is actually the Superman of Earth Prime, which is basically DC Universe's version of the Earth that we live in, meaning that just like on our Earth, superheroes are not real. They're simply just characters in comic books, movies, and television shows. But on that Earth, we get a version of Kal-El coming to Earth from the planet Krypton, and he's adopted by the Kents as a child and given the name Clark. Now, Clark grows up normally until the age of 15 when Halley's Comet passes over the Earth, which activates Clark's latent Kryptonian powers, which are all basically the same powers as Superman has: superhuman strength, superhuman speed, invulnerability, flight, X-ray vision. You guys get the deal. Now, when Earth Prime is destroyed by the Anti-Monitor during the Crisis on Infinite Earths event, Superboy battles alongside heroes from other Earths to defeat him. And once the Anti-Monitor is vanquished, Superboy goes to a paradise dimension along with Earth 2 versions of Superman and Lois Lane, as well as Alexander Luthor, the son of Lex Luthor from Earth 3. Now, while in this dimension, Superboy-Prime never actually ages, but becomes embittered by the fact that he was robbed of his childhood and would never grow up to fulfill his destiny of becoming Superman. He also comes to hate the new Earth version of Superboy, Connor Kent, for filling the role that he felt was rightfully his. And so during his many years in this pocket dimension, just getting madder and madder, Alexander Luthor decides that they've all had enough and they're going to make their way to the DC universe. And so Superboy-Prime starts punching the barrier between the two realities, which not only causes the barrier to break down, but also sends ripple effects throughout reality, altering it in several ways, such as bringing dead characters back to life. Furthermore, he proves himself to be powerful enough to alter the orbits of planets, as well as change the location of the center of the universe. Not only was Superboy-Prime able to best Martian Manhunter, a character on par with Superman in terms of power, but was also able to punch his way out of the Phantom Zone, which up to that point was thought to be impossible, and which once again sent reality-altering ripple effects throughout the universe. He's also said to be faster than Wally West, who's considered to be the fastest of all the speedsters at the time, and was able to free himself from the Speed Force despite being exposed to constant red sun radiation, which dampened his powers. During his time in the Speed Force, his powers are augmented even further as he created a conduit for himself that captured and stored the energy of yellow suns, from which his powers are derived. Following this, he was able to easily defeat the combined forces of the Justice Society, the Teen Titans, the Justice League, and the Doom Patrol. And so it should be clear by now that Superboy-Prime is not only one of the strongest versions of Superman that's ever existed, but is also one of the most powerful characters in all of comics. And so with that in mind, the question becomes, how do we kill him? Well, first, we need to address two major ways that will not be successful. Because Superboy-Prime is a version of Superman, it might seem obvious to use Superman's traditional weakness against him. The most widely known weakness of Superman is, of course, kryptonite. You could ask anyone that has never even picked up a comic book, and they could likely tell you that kryptonite is Superman's weakness. It's that ingrained in pop culture. But while kryptonite does have devastating effects on Superman, Superboy-Prime does not share that weakness. The reason for this is that in his universe, there were no fragments of his home planet Krypton that survived the destruction of the planet, and the fragments of Krypton from other universes are not harmful to him, and so kryptonite is not going to help us in any way. Another weakness of Superman's is magic. There have been countless times throughout history that this has been exploited, and it's well established to be a part of his character. But once again, this information is useless in our attempt to take out Superboy-Prime because he does not share this weakness either. We have to remember that Superboy-Prime comes from Earth Prime, which is the analog to our world. So just like in our world, magic does not exist there, and so Superboy-Prime is not going to be vulnerable against it. And so that's off the table as well. Now, simply overwhelming Superboy Superboy-Prime is also not likely to give us the result that we want. When one of the Guardians of the Universe tried to destroy himself by self-destructing, Superboy-Prime simply absorbed the resulting energy, and it only made him more powerful, at least powerful enough to destroy an entire universe and kidnap Mr. Mxyzptlk, one of the strongest reality warpers in DC Comics. And so we can't just produce a powerful enough attack to take him out either. And so we're going to have to figure out some weakness to exploit. Now, if you were paying attention earlier, I mentioned that when Superboy-Prime was stuck in the Speed Force, he was constantly being exposed to red sun radiation, which dampened his powers. However, this did not seem to be overly effective, since he was able to not only survive, but build a suit that harnessed yellow sun energy and escape the Speed Force, which also would have been impossible. But I think that clues us in to our answer here, and that is, for that as powerful as Superboy-Prime is, he still relies on yellow sun energy to survive. And so we're going to need to find a way to cut him off from the supply of stored yellow sun energy that his suit provides. And we're also going to have to block his access to any additional sunlight. If we can do those two things, he should theoretically be no harder to kill than the average person, since Kryptonians do not have superpowers on Krypton due to the absence of a yellow sun nearby. And so I think that's our best bet. We're going to have to disrupt his connection with his power suit and also find a way to block the sun's radiation from reaching the battlefield in order to be successful. But let me know what you guys think, right? If you can think of a better way to take out Superboy-Prime, let me know down in the comment section. If you guys are new here to Comics Explained, make sure you guys hit the sub button to become part of the Rob Corps. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you drop a like. Now I'll catch you all later. Peace.